Jonas, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Would you tell us about what you do here and about Box Top?
Yeah, Box Top's actually a few different divisions. There's Box Top Entertainment, which produces various television cable specials. We've been involved in the Academy Awards, the Grammys, the Nelson Mandela, Freedom Special, Live Aid, various, Kevin Wall, the CEO, was in the music business and in the TV special business, did a lot of work with MTV for years. And a couple of years ago, we started an interactive company, so hence Box Top Interactive, which I think today is probably the biggest interactive production company in Los Angeles. We have clients that range from AT&T to Guess to 5 or 6 of the major record labels, Warehouse, Cartoon Network, America Online, Microsoft Network, Prodigy Internet. We're doing some work with Yahoo. We're sort of dipping our toe, if you will, in all aspects of interactive. My division, Box Top Live, is dedicated to producing and promoting events on the internet. I equate it to radio in the early days, or television in the early days, where sponsors support and brand programming. And the beauty of this medium is that radio doesn't have any visual elements, but the internet does. And now with the advent of streaming audio and now streaming video, we're really able to produce a full interactive experience. And another attractive element to this medium is the shelf life that it creates. Radio and television are wonderful, but if you missed a show, you missed a show. The beauty of the internet is we have created sort of the shelf life of programming where if you can, the replayability of it is that you can go back in and click and see a passive experience that you may have missed. So it's a wonderful medium for replays. And I think that in itself is very attractive to sponsors because, Frito-Lay's sponsoring the Super Bowl. And if you missed a play or you missed a segment or you missed a commercial, there goes $1 million and you're never going to see it again unless you obviously recorded it or, But in this business, if Oldsmobile is sponsoring a branded chat series and you missed Sandra Bullock last week, you can go back in and Oldsmobile still owns the screen and they're sort of in juxtaposition, they're still associated with the event in perpetuity. So it's sort of really nice and attractive to advertisers. It's something I find very compelling about selling programs in this business.
How did you first become interested in the internet?
I was an agent at a company called ICM, which is one of the 3 big talent agencies in town. And everyone was fighting for, talent and directors and writers. And growing up here in town, it didn't interest me. I saw an emerging medium. I saw people, at that time, 3-4 years ago, it was really CD-ROMs, fielding offers for, Naomi Campbell and Elle Macpherson to do a 3-day blue screen for $150,000. Hey, it sounded great, but no one knew what a blue screen was, 4 years ago. And ultimately, it evolved from CD-ROMs into sort of the internet and distributing programming on the internet and associating high-caliber individuals with certain types of programming, either hosting or being guests or official sites or, America Online at that time had 800,000 subscribers, and we were working with Leo Burnett and America Online in packaging some sort of branded series for one of their clients, Oldsmobile. 800,000 people 3-4 years ago. It was like a clinic. It was begging people to put their clients on a chat. No one knew what a chat was. And today there's infinite, numbers of chats of the internet, and people are sponsoring them, and it went from 800,000 subscribers to 8 million subscribers. So there's a clear growth process, and it's just, I watched a special of the weekend with Bill Gates and Jobs on public access, and it was wonderful to see how the vision has evolved. And Bill Gates, the richest man in the world in this business, I might add, the richest man in the world in this business. I mean, I might be doing something right. Said, the internet is such an amazing thing because even the smartest people in the world don't know what to expect 6-9 months away. So for me to be involved at the forefront, pioneering programming, and it's just, I'm young, I'm excited, I'm enthusiastic about what I do. It's really nice to wake up in the morning and come to work and be excited. So,
how do you describe a chat for somebody who's not familiar with it?
Well, there's various user experiences. In the beginning, a chat was purely a static environment with text scrolling, waiting. Questions would come in via text. We'd have someone transcribing talent's answers, and that was sort of a basic experience. What's happened now is, obviously with the advent of new technologies, streaming audio, streaming video. It's more of a interactive experience online. So, a la Larry King. Instead of being in a studio and having questions come in from a telephone, broadcast over a cable, this is another means of distribution for the same types of shows. We can cover live events. We can footage from a premiere, from a backstage charity event, from special events from around the world, and edit that into an experience for someone who wasn't necessarily there or wanted to experience it vicariously. We do various elements here at BoxTop. We can produce a full feature for somebody. I mean a full feature, a full A to Z event from various questions being answered live via our interactive audience, audio bites from various participants at events, visual elements. And we do is my production team here takes all of my raw footage in and creates an experience for someone. And it isn't click, click, click. It's click, experience 3 or 4 minutes of a passive interactivity, and then click again. So there's an element of interactivity, so you're actually choosing, you have a choice to make. And there's some passive experience because people like to be entertained and they don't want to have to work for it all the time.
So let's say I'm a movie star and I'm here to sell my new movie. What happens? I sit down with you in this room. What do we do?
Actually, we have a studio that we put our people in, and it's half of it's a sound booth. We usually have a producer who's screening the questions. So obviously, with every form of meeting, there are going to be some sort of risque questions that come in that we want to protect the people from. But 9 times out of 10, they want to know those questions anyways, even though they're not going to answer them. And we like to put the celebrity or the person being interviewed in a soundproof room and feed them the questions so we can audio their answers in a clean audio format. So we can repurpose that, edit that into some sort of programming at a later date, or keep that in sort of a shelf life. Questions come in just like a radio show or Larry King or something similar to that, where people are asking questions about projects. For instance, if you're Jeff Goldblum and your new movie's coming out, what was it like working with so and so? Or are you really interested in dinosaurs? Or questions that relate to projects. And clients like to promote their latest endeavor. There's a reason Jim Carrey isn't doing press right now. He doesn't have a movie out. It's really simple. If people are doing the circuit, this has become, and when I say this, I mean the internet has become now a traditional form of distribution for publicity. Whereas before people were intimidated, people weren't really sure. There's crazy people on the internet. There's crazy people everywhere. Come on. The nice thing about the internet is that the demographics are smarter people, well-educated people, people in a higher income level, people that have the propensity to go to movies, to buy CDs, to go to concerts. You're really, I hate to say the demographics is very interesting, in its raw form. But now with Bill Gates making the investments into all the libraries, you're going to cross over, and you're going to really market to the inner cities, people that don't have the computers, people that aren't educated enough to be online.
Will they eventually have
Ultimately,
computers?
they will be online, and I think that's a brilliant move by Bill, because he's weaning them onto Windows. He's giving them a GUI that they're going to be used to for years to come, and I think that's it's a smart investment for him. And it also helps the medium, because now you're penetrating different markets. So,
how many people are listening or watching a typical session like that?
it ranges. Distribution is key in any business, more so in my business than ever. In America Online with 9 million subscribers, or a Microsoft Network with a few million subscribers, or a Prodigy with a few million subscribers. I mean, it's interesting because you're limited to the subscribers. You're limited to the people that pay every month to be associated with that network. But what's happening now is I think you see a trend of programming moving to the internet. And one of the phrases that I've coined is, why put it in the fee space when you can put it on the free space? And that really means everyone ultimately is going to move their programming to the internet. It's more attractive for advertisers. It's more attractive because there's a bigger penetration level. And at the end of the day, everything that's available on an online service is going to be available on the internet. So no one's going to pay to get what they can get for free. So I think with the right marketing and strategic alliances in promotions, you're going to see a lot of traffic coming to events or programming, if you will, that is compelling on the internet. For instance, if Yahoo's getting 20 million individual unique IPs a day.
What's an IP, by the way?
A unique IP is it's an IP address is how do you track an individual user on the internet. And when Yahoo says they get 20 million unique IPs, that means that the computer's registering 20 million different IPs a day. So let's talk about keyword advertising in the Yahoo scenario, because Yahoo's a search engine. So you go to Yahoo and you've created a dictionary of 5,000 related words that have to do with entertainment, okay? And out of the 20 million people that come to Yahoo daily, 10% of them are going to type in something entertainment driven. So 10% of 20 million is 2 million. So out of those 2 million people that are going to type in some sort of related entertainment word to search for, you're going to own the top of the screen as a partner with Yahoo to promote a chat that night or a special event that night. And now you've refined your audience, because now you know these 2 million people aren't interested in, Mexico or the Mona Lisa. They're interested in some sort of entertainment-driven something. So what you've now done is you refined your audience, which is more attractive to an advertiser, okay? And out of those 2 million people, let's take 10% of those people click on your chat button, and they want to talk with whoever that night, and it's an audio, visual experience. That's more interesting to an advertiser. You've now refined the 2 million to 200,000 people that have clicked through that chat button, and now so-and-so owns that button. They're branded as an overall brand, and you're producing a chat that night. Well, 2,000 people in an auditorium on the internet it sounds like a lot, but it's just the beginning. I've done chats anywhere from 2,000 to 15,000 people on the internet. So I think that the market is ready. I think that there are loyal users. I think that there are people that want to talk to somebody. And I think that it's a really nice experience for someone in middle America or in somewhere around the world that doesn't live in Hollywood, that doesn't see a celebrity at a restaurant every night, to really connect and say, wow, so-and-so really answered my question. That's a really nice experience for somebody. And I'm glad that I've been able to create these events that reach out and touch fans from around the world. It's It's great.
So you're saying that someday the internet will replace TV, cable, everything?
No, I think that the convergence of all is irrefutable. I think that there will be, I think traditional medium will always be there. I think that what the internet provides is an interactive experience to sort of add on to the traditional experience. I call it the L. So you're going to get, if we can use this as an example, you're going to get your traditional feed always. And you're going to get it maybe right here. And if this is your traditional experience, we're programming the L. So if it's chat, if it's picture and bio, if it's let's buy the outfit that Tori Spelling's wearing on 90210, if it's whatever it is, it's called programming the L. And what it allows you to do is converge a traditional experience with what we're able to create in terms of programming through the internet. And whether it be cable modems, whether it be a fat telephone line, whoever wins, and Bill's probably going to be one of them. It's about programming the L. And yeah, it's great to connect people around the country. And if you're a 90210 buff or a Melrose Place buff or a cult, soap opera buff, let's connect those people on the L and let's let them talk about what's going on. And let's create ancillary vehicles for advertisers to brand a so-and-so chat during another show, or let's join a fan club. Let's create some sort of transactional element that allows users to, if I'm a Tori Spelling fan and she's all gapped out or Banana Republic'd out or guessed out or whatever she's wearing, let's allow them to click on an outfit and get some sort of back-end transactional vehicle there. I mean, it's not brain surgery. It's very exciting though.
Wasn't there a thought initially that there could be more of a direct charge to people using the internet? They could make money directly off of people viewing the internet?
Yeah, I think that was the original model with the America Onlines of the world. I think that the customer is smarter now. I think that the customer is, in those days it was easy access. It was bundled with everything, that you ever got that had anything to do with computers. And, the internet with Mosaic and the original browsers was very archaic and really not user-friendly. And I think America Online created a GUI, a graphic user interface, that allowed the consumer to not be so intimidated. I mean, it was easy. It was, put this in, install it, and you're up and running. It took a lot for someone to understand, I had someone ask me the other day, who owns the internet? People are still learning. And I think that the smarter people get and the more educated they become about the medium, the less and less important an America Online or a Microsoft network will be. It'll be about who's your browser or what browser you use and who's your provider. And whether it be a cable company or a phone company or a hybrid of the two. It's basically what's your user interface and how are you going to navigate around the internet.
What will this do to culture in terms of, for instance, right now, we all sort of have a common cultural experience. We all watched, or most of us watched a certain program last night, or there's a certain, we share something. But if everybody is doing their own thing on the internet, will something be lost in the terms of togetherness?
My core business is creating these events. I'm an online promoter. I've taken a medium that no one really knew anything about and put events in that medium and create community around events. And I think this is the key to the internet is connecting people. I mean, let's think about what it was really invented for. I mean, the ARCANET was invented for communicating information. The MILNET was the military's underground communication network in case all communication went down. And the internet is really email, information. And what is email? Email is connecting people in a delayed process. Chat is real-time email. Mm-hmm. And I think if you give specific groups of interest topics, and the ancillary trickle down from that is communities. Some people that are really interesting examples, like a Richard Simmons, who has all these fans out there that want to lose weight.
He's a fitness,
Fitness
guru.
guy, okay? You're connecting people in fitness. They trade recipes. They talk about, they give kudos to people that lost 50 pounds that month. That's just one example of a genre-specific culture that connects and creates community.
But so will you have people retreating into their own little communities and not cross-communicating?
No, I think that the bigger picture is to cross-pollinate, but I think the smaller picture is to create these communities that, that can coexist and bring them back to the top and let them trickle down again. Keep bringing them back to the top. And the bottom line is chat creates community. It creates groups of interest, and it's really nice to see people from around the world connecting and talking about things that they're interested in talking about. People log online to meet people at a regular time every night. It's a wonderful thing.
What kind of things will the new technologies make irrelevant? Like the post office, will that be around 10 years from now? Will other things just go by the wayside because of the new technologies?
No, I don't think that the post office will ever be obsolete. I think that tangible goods are always a necessity, and there's no way, you always have to, even if you're buying something on the internet, you still need to deliver. There still needs to be sort of a back-end fulfillment scenario. So you're ultimately going to get that tangible item after you've purchased it off the internet.
So you always have to order something and then have it delivered to you by some force?
Goods, tangible items. Services, unclear. Anything that can be distributed electronically, I think will hurt the traditional post office business, if you will. But I also think that there's forever a need. No one's ever going to be completely sold on electronic communication. It's going to be some sort of hard goods. Someone's always going to write a letter by hand. Someone's always going to personalize something. So you're not going to ultimately eliminate that. And I don't think you want to. I think you just want to use the internet for what it's really good for. It's just a new form of distribution. It's a way to penetrate people. I think the junk mail business will be obsolete.
Fax machines?
Fax machines, probably. Junk mail, it's postage free. You could spam the internet with with your 15-hour sale at Kmart, whatever. I think that big companies are going to save a lot of money in bulk postage rates, because they're going to find a way to buy mailing lists from internet users or from ISPs, internet service providers, and take a traditional junk mail piece and distribute it electronically. I think that's going to be something that will evolve.
Answering machines? Telephones?
Well, answering machines are obsolete now. Voicemail's the new thing, so it's all computerized anyway, so I had nothing to do with that.
So how will our daily lives change? Will we come home and have video mail, for instance? Video telephones?
Sure. We actually at BoxTop have a new technology that we just launched that's being bundled with Power Computing, Dell, and Apple, and a bunch of major companies, US robotics modems. It's called iVisit. And it's from the guys that invented See You, See Me. Tim Dorsey, who was at Cornell. See You, See Me stands for Cornell University See Me. It's a video conferencing technology that was invented about a year and a half ago. And Tim has a new hybrid of that original technology, which is point-to-point instead of going through a reflector. And reflector is going through a server that reflects out to multiple users. And this is a point-to-point, which allows you and I to talk point to point and then group point to points together, so we can conference call people and it doesn't have to go through a reflector. It's actually a very unique technology, and we just launched that, and there should be 3.5 million units in the marketplace by Christmas. And it's an amazing technology to sit in your office, click on a button, and have a screen come up with someone that you want to talk to. Video conferencing is amazing, and I think using that core idea, and sort of what I'm really good at is promoting these events. It'd be great to have a Schwarzenegger or a Michael Jordan on a video conferencing technology while you're doing a chat. It's really connecting people,
Will anything be lost by losing face-to-face contact? In other words, instead of flying to Africa for a meeting, I'm just doing a video conferencing. What, if anything, is lost in losing face-to-face, skin-to-skin communication?
I think there's a nice element in personal relationships. I think that the nature of sort of people is to have face-to-face and communicate and be around people. And I think it will streamline certain things, but I think that, it's human nature to want to get out and want to connect face-to-face and have some sort of real relationship. What this does with sort of the advent of new technology is it streamlines communication. But at the end of the day, people want to meet people. People want to shake each other's hands. They want to really feel like they know each other. And I don't think that the internet allows people to really feel like they know each other. I feel like there's a certain level of relationship there, but never really a true, tangible relationship. And I think that will always, it's apples and oranges. I mean, one will streamline communication in business. The other is, people need to actually have a tangible handshake. People want to fly to Africa and see the giraffes, I guess. That will never change. You can go online and search giraffe on Yahoo, and a picture of a giraffe comes up. But that doesn't change wanting to go pet a giraffe. I mean,
you and I are sort of roughly the same age, and part of what they call Generation X. How do you think the way we interact and do business and interact with each other is different from the previous generation as a result of some of these technological changes?
Computers weren't really as big as they are now when I was growing up or when you were growing up. I mean, I took a computer class, and there was a computer in school, and not everyone had a computer. And the kids today, they're online, they're savvy, they send email.
We didn't realize it was going to be part of our daily life, right?
It's an amazing process. I think when I was in school, people were still turning in handwritten assignments. I mean, I think today, if it's not typed, it's not turned in.
Or typed on an old typewriter, right? Yeah.
Right, and now there's grammar programs and spelling programs and thesaurus programs, and I think that helps children learn how to use better words and how to use better grammatical sentences. And I think that technology actually helps our society learn in the process of learning. And and I also think that it's never too late for the people that never got into computers, the 40-something crowd, the baby boomers, they're intimidated by computers. That we don't use it. It's never too late. It's not intimidating. It's no big deal. Just to pick up a computer and start learning. It's never too late.
How has the new technologies affected our generation in terms of? I mean, things are changing so fast. You can't have a 1-year, 2-year, 5-year business plan with technologies changing. How is that changing the way you or we all do business, or how will it change it?
Well, the exciting thing about this business is that no one really knows what's right around the corner. You can't predict. I mean, you can make certain predictions, but you can't plan long term in this business because it's so evolving every day that it's new technologies stimulate you to new ideas. And in traditional thinking, is sort of thrown out the window. You've got to, okay, well, this thing just happened, and this technology is emerging, so we've got to recreate this concept so we can utilize the best and the newest and the greatest. It's almost a game. It's fun.
In 50 years, you'll be, 65, 75. What will we be surprised by? Could you make some predictions of the way our lives will have changed and that we'll be shocked to think of now?
Well, that's a loaded question.
With the new technologies, in mind.
Right. God, I'm thinking, you're thinking what, 50 years? I'm thinking 50 minutes. I mean, I'd hate to have my kids show me this in 50 years and say, you were wrong. So I'm going to leave it open-ended and just say that we're constantly creating, and trying to keep up with new technology and cutting edge and constantly pushing the envelope. And was that political enough for you?
It was good. You can run for office.
Okay.
What about yourself in your near future? What do you see yourself doing, and what kind of new things do you see yourself doing?
We're working with some strategic partners to create a full experience on the internet, which isn't just sort of a static point and click. We're working with our video conferencing technology, iVisit. We're working with some streaming audio solutions. We're working with some very interesting technologies that will allow the user to have a much more graphical experience. it's irrefutable that with new technologies, experiences change. And I think that the things that people are used to, whether it be virtual reality environments with video conferencing, you're going to see a real big change in the next six months to a year in experiences on the internet, whether it converges with traditional medium, programming the L, or whether it's just a virtual chat with other virtual components. I think that, if you really sat down and thought about the cutting edge technologies, whether they be VR or video conferencing or streaming audio and video, you begin to package those elements into programming. And it's essentially reinventing the wheel for this medium. And it's an exciting time to be in an exciting business. I'm very lucky to be here.
Thanks for joining us, Jonas.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.